What's up, my YouTube family? It's your boy OJ from AO Aquatics, and today I'm going to be formally introducing my 125-gallon cichlid tank to the channel. Now, if you're new here, which most of you are, I dare you to come back and watch 2 more videos. If you do, I'm going to count you as part of the AO Aquatics family, and hit subscribe so you can be sure to catch my next video. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for. This is the AO Aquatics underworld I call Bulawayo. Bulawayo is a city in Zimbabwe, Africa that I was able to actually visit once years ago, and because I'm keeping mostly African cichlids, I found it fitting to be named after an African city. In this underworld I'm calling Bulawayo, the territories are flowing with life. There are 3 distinct territories: Tiger Barb Mountain, Rockwood Island, and the Mangrove Castle. Now, on the far end of my underworld called Bulawayo is Tiger Barb Mountain. It's just a small rock area I made with a few PetSmart pieces. I added some slate rock to it just to have an area smaller fish can escape to if they're getting picked on. Now, Rockwood Island I put right here in the middle of the kingdom because I wanted something in the middle of the tank that would act as a barrier to break line of sight for any of the fish to kind of curb on the African cichlid's aggression. You can see why it's called Rockwood Island. It consists of some wood, rock, and a plant I also purchased from PetSmart. Now, the last area of the underworld in the back is what I call Mangrove Castle. It's a centerpiece I bought that I liked because it looked like a tree root. I added some live plants to this area to help it feel more tree-like. I stacked some rocks around the base and the back, which I plan to build up more on this side, especially if I'm going to be calling it the castle. I call it that because this is pretty much where the boss of my tank likes to hang out most of the time. So for what I'm actually stocked with in this tank, most of the fish in here are cichlids. I have 2 convict cichlids which spend most of their time in Rockwood. These I bought before knowing differences in species, and now I know that these are actually South or Central American cichlids. They're doing okay, but my plan is to eventually move them to my other tank. While we're talking about leaving, also leaving this tank soon, probably along with them, will most likely be my tiger barbs. There's a small school of 9 in here, and they're doing great too. They, hence why I call the spot in my tank the Tiger Barb Mountain, tend to stay on this end if they're not roaming the lands of this underwater kingdom. They are really grown. Look at this guy, for example. These I call my soldiers of the tank. I originally got them as a form of dither fish when my cichlids were smaller. I feel like they help reduce any timidness early on with their schooling behavior and constantly swimming throughout the tank. They definitely stick together and don't get messed with for the most part. They give a normal fish-like behavior to my tank since my Mbuna seem to feel more comfortable coming out into the open waters of this world when they're out. Now, the African cichlids I have in here are of the Mbuna species. They like rocky areas, so that's why I started to build the rockscape to have places for them to slip in and out of. So unfortunately, some of these were bought in a mixed Mbuna tank, so I'm not sure the exact species of Mbuna that they are. I do know I have a bumblebee cichlid. He is the king of the tank boss that I was referring to here in Bulawayo. One of the earlier African cichlids I bought, he has grown to be the largest in this tank right now. I have a Jahani back there, always hiding but definitely makes his presence known as second in command here. New to the tank is this guy. I'm not really sure which type he is. I definitely would like to know though. I love his color. If you recognize his species, please let me know in the comments. I have 2 powder blue cichlids. I have a yellowtail ACI, 2 yellow lab hybrid mix. Now, these 2 guys were sold to me at another local fish store as yellow labs, but the colors seem a little off to me. They still look okay though. Maybe they're still growing. It hasn't been too long with them, a few months I'd say. This is another new fish recently added to the tank in the last new group addition. I'm not sure what type he is either. He's finally adjusting and finding his place in the ranks amongst the others after a few early battles when I first introduced him. You can see some of the damage to his fins, which looks like they're getting better now actually. He has a bluish green color. It looks like he's going to be a pretty fish as he grows. I have two Kenyi cichlids that mainly follow each other around. They're smaller than the others in here, but hardly ever get messed with, and aren't afraid at feeding time to take their share. Well, that's my tank. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I have so many plans to make Bulawayo better in so many ways. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.